Hey everyone, Michael Phoenix, founder staff, Surreal City online magazine. Now we have formalities out of the way. We're going behind the scenes here, and I wanted to be in front of the camera for a change. Weather's beautiful out there, but this is one of those rare occasions where I want you to see exactly how serious I am about the topic I'm going to approach. I state, and I don't back down from this, it is not the media's job to tell you who to vote for. It is our job merely to present the facts and let you decide. All right? Right off, this is nothing but an editorial, my personal opinion. All right? But the Allentown mayor's race, in all honesty, the Allentown election has become a three-ring circus. I'm sorry, reality check of it. All right? You have people who, someone who is running for city council, guess what? Now all of a sudden they're not running for city council anymore. They're running for school board. One person who's basically forced out of the mayor's race on a technicality. Okay, everything was justified. Don't get me wrong, but and they change their mind. Okay, they're running for another office now. That's fine. All right, nothing against anyone here. All right, you have a mayor's race that I believe has 7 Democrats in it left. All right, and in all honesty, most of the Democrats, that are running, don't have the first clue as to what this town needs, Allentown needs. They really don't. All right, these are people that, for whatever the reason, are not on the true street level of this city. All right, you never hear them taking land a bus. You never hear about them unless they're out campaigning. Just walking the streets. You never see posts like that. All right. And also, I attended the mayor's debate last week, I think. All right. And I attended as a voter. Kept my promise on that one. Didn't review it, which, trust me, I would have annihilated it. But anyway, I'm going to break the promise here. All right. Just because of the way I'm seeing, the closer we get to the primary elections, the way I'm seeing things shaping up here. All right. Allentown needs a candidate who can say, you know what, this town has a past. Everyone and everything does. If you're alive, if you exist, you have a past. All right. But it needs someone who can say, you know what, we have to look towards the future. Here's the moment that we're in, but how are we gonna have this city reach its fullest potential? How are we going to get out of this rut and this stagnation that we're in? Yeah, it can be argued Center City, okay, whatever. Even that has stagnated. There's still at least one empty storefront for 2 years now in that area. All right. It needs leadership. It needs someone who's not a politician, someone who's not out there busting their ass, primarily trying to raise funds, which, don't get me wrong, every candidate has to do it, but that's not, who's out there knocking on the door, so out there on the street level, saying, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna pop the public transportation to understand it better. Public transportation. I'm sorry, this area, Atlanta bus, you take away Atlanta bus, and a lot of people, this area, the entire Lehigh Valley collapses. I'm sorry, it's the way it is. Argue with me, go for it. I take it, I use it. All right. We need someone who's going to say, you know what, fine. We do have jobs here, but we don't have the right kind of jobs. We don't have the kind of jobs that will train people, that will say, you know what, we looked at your resume, okay, these are the life skills that you have. You know what, we're going to give you a shot. We need someone who will say, you know what, I'm not going to worry about term limits, because here on the local side, Okay, you want to impose term limits? That's fantastic. Great. What happens 4 years from now if nobody's running if you get reelected 8 years from now, for 8 years from now, nobody's running against you. Well, I impose the term limits, so that means I'm not going to run again to keep my word, but there's nobody else running. I have no opponents. Right? We need someone who's going to say, yes, the epitome of all evil, I do smoke cigarettes. No drugs, social drink, I do smoke cigarettes. But anyway, this city needs someone who's going to say, you know what? It's more than just Center City. We have parks that the city can use for festivals to bring people in. We have an east side. We have a south side. We have a west end. That, you know what? Let's figure out ways to utilize them to show the entire city, not just one section of it. We need leadership, and I hate to say this. We don't need phrase it this way, but I'm being point blank honest here. If you get pissed, people get pissed off, let them. Don't care on this one. All right? We don't need someone who is going to say, I've lived here 10, 20, 30, 40 years. We don't need people who are going to talk about what they've done and focus on what they have done. You have accomplishments, great. Thrilled a second, honestly. We need someone who's going to say, you know what? Here's new ideas. You know what? I may not have lived in this town 10, 20, 30 years. But I do know it. I do know it well enough I know this city well enough to know what's right about it, what's wrong with it, and to have fresh, new ideas. We don't need politicians. We don't need the long-term residents in office anymore. Look at city council, look at the mayor. Other than that area around the arena that most people realistically cannot afford that live around here, what have they done? Nothing. That's all they focused on. We need, from mayor to city council, across the board, for this town to get out of the stagnation that it has been in. We need to get those people out. We need fresh people with fresh ideas in Allentown city government. And believe me, for the past several weeks, I've really been in a serious toss-up and given this some serious thought and some serious internal conflict over this, because I want to keep my word to you. I want to keep my word to everyone, all right? But with the way I'm seeing things develop, the closer we get to the elections, I feel this is a necessity to do, all right? So therefore, with all that being said, Surrealville City Online Magazine is very proud to officially endorse, and this will be the only endorsement in this election. Surrealville City Online Magazine is very proud to endorse and fully support Joshua Siegel as the candidate for mayor of Allentown. You want to see someone who has ideas. You want to see someone who will look at you and say, you know what? I may not know everything. Show me one politician does, even on the local level, and I'll show you someone's flat out lying. All right? Josh has the ideas. Josh is not a politician. He doesn't want to be a politician. Josh knows what this city needs. All right? There's interview questions on the magazine's website. Josh Siegel is the only one who answered them. These weren't your typical questions. These are, what's your plan to bring Allentown to lead even the state in helping the homeless, helping survivors of domestic violence, addiction. And I recently had a chance to speak with Josh off the record and asked him, as a voter, I asked him these questions again. And the more I get to know Mr. Siegel, And the more I listen to him, I've paid attention to most of the other candidates. I apologize. There's one that I really, it's been elusive so far. Kind of, all right? Check their social media feeds. Josh is young, which is city really needs in our government. I'm sorry. Hate me for saying it that way. It's point blank. Josh is young. All right? He's not a politician. He hasn't lived here for at least a decade. He walks the streets. He's not afraid to talk to anyone from the homeless all the way up to the richest person in Lehigh Valley, and have an intelligent discussion with them, and if it comes down to an intelligent debate with them. Josh listens to people. Josh recognizes the importance of large and corporate media in the area, but also recognizes that guess what? In addition to that, the small independents are just as important, because we might see things or do things differently than they are, and it takes all of us together to combine to show the real stories. Not just the corporate and large media, not just the independents. It takes all of us, whether we realize it or not. We're working on the same thing or not. So he is the one person, the one candidate that this city really needs right now. Okay, because otherwise we just face the same stagnation. We just face the same, oh wow, let's put in a waterfront that's going to duplicate the downtown, and guess what? Here's another area for the rich, and if you're not rich, get the hell out of here. You're not welcome here. Basically what Center City is, with a few exceptions of businesses. Basically what the arena is. That's great. You want to bring people in. What about people who live here? Josh understands that we have to make Allentown, to have Allentown in the whole Lehigh Valley reach its fullest potential, that we need to help the people that live here. We need to help the low-income people to raise their standard of living. We need to help the people that are at the part-time jobs to raise their income and their standard of living, so that places like around the arena and businesses that are high-end can survive without having to worry about bringing more people in. The people are already here, and Josh realizes, you know what? We have to utilize them first. We have to utilize the people that are here as the base, and build on that. So like I said, Surrealville City Online Magazine is very, very proud to endorse and support Joshua Siegel for the mayor of Allentown. And the only reason why I'm doing this, like I said, I'm seeing things that, as a journalist, as a member of the media, as a registered voter, don't sit too well with me, that are developing. All right? The city needs him. Please contact him, find more out about him, and contact all the candidates. Don't get me wrong. It's our job as registered voters to learn about all the candidates and to make the best decision based on our life, based on our circumstances, that we feel who is the best suited for the job. But don't just listen to their speeches, all right? Challenge them. Ask them questions that'll catch them off guard, and challenge them. Take care, everybody.